Hello and good morning, everyone. Only positivity here. Have no coffee with me today, but ready to kick off podcast number 120 on this playlist that I'm looking to launch called Elevated Thoughts. So before diving into the topic for today, let's go and start with the level set. So as I endeavor upon pursuing knowledge and life experience in this next phase of life through fitness, photography, reading, golf, many more things, one habit that I've really formed is traveling. So this podcast essentially goes through some of my more recent travels, taking those lessons learned and applying them to experiences in my life. So before we go into the podcast for today, what you'll probably realize is that the audio might be a little different, but that's mainly because so I had recorded down this podcast before, right? And I uploaded it and I posted it and everything like that. And when I was uploading it, ended up getting through like 25 minutes when I was listening to it, and I had posted it and shit, and the audio was just like trash. It just like completely cut out. And even when I was exporting it from my Rodecaster to my computer, it was there was some like little blip going on too. So I was like, you know what? I might just try something new out today and, do all that. Hi, good morning. Anyway, hey, good morning. So anyway, other than that, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna just go for a walk and I'll record it that way. Mainly because I didn't want to sit down again and, kind of been a busy morning, busy week. I didn't want to sit down again and like re-record the entire thing. So I figured, hey, look, I'll go for a walk. I do some of my best work when I'm walking. And I always get into good thoughts, and I don't want to just be sitting down for another hour. I just got off like an hour meeting. So I was like, you know what? It's all about the memories. And so we're just going to boil it back down to the basics, my dudes. But anyway, so I just got back from a trip to Banff, and that was fucking beautiful, mate. And I also am going to sit down and record a Lake Geneva podcast tomorrow. So, a few other items coming my way, and maybe me and wifey can sit down and record Banff together, because we went to Banff together with my brother-in-law, and it was, like I said, it was fucking beautiful. So, a lot of fun stuff coming, but let's just go and get into it. So I think I got about like a 40-minute, 30-minute walk coming up, so y'all can just tag along with me, and we can just go from there, and who knows, maybe I'll make this a regular thing if the audio comes out well enough, You might hear me mouth breathing a little bit more because there's a few uphills as I'm going through, but I just do this loop over to the train station, and then I walk back, and so we'll fucking get it. So today what I want to go over is my most recent trip to Croatia, which was awesome, phenomenal, one for the books. And we just learned so much. We had just the most euphoric time out there, met some amazing people, got some great sights in, took in some history. These pigeons are trying to fuck each other. And you get those red-winged birds over here too that are just so fucking aggressive, man. They're just always like chasing other birds and shit. But not here or there. So we just had some of the most prolific moments I think you could ever ask for in Croatia. So why don't we just go ahead and dive into that bitch before I just kind of take forever with the level set. But other than that, before we jump in, just been having a phenomenal summer so far. It has been a dream. 2025 has been one of the best years of my life. And what I love about saying that is I feel like every year I say that. So every year I try to have the best year of my life, and every year I try to learn from the previous year on how to make the current year better, right? And I find that way of living is just the way to live for me. So we're gonna carry on. But anyway, let's go ahead and jump into the travel, right? So we go to Croatia from a Friday to the following Saturday. So we have about 8 or 9 days there, right? And so we booked this trip at the beginning of the year, and we're just sitting there like, man, it's just gonna take a while to get here. But what's nice is normally we do our trips at the end of the year, and so this one we did in May, so it came a little quicker, right? That's what she said. But so we planned the trip. We use Kim, that service. I highly recommend them. And we take our quiz, and we let them know what we'd like to do, right? And then our guide is communicating with us all the while, trying to tweak it to perfection. And so finally that Friday comes around, and we're like, fucking hey, dude, are we going today? So as always, get up, get a workout in, crush the day. We had a 6:15 p.m. flight, so no need for PTO that day. I go to the gym, hit the sauna, do what I call my hotel workout, which is 3 rounds of pull-ups, 3 rounds of push-ups, 3 rounds of abs, 3 rounds of legs, 3 rounds of shoulders, 3 rounds of biceps, 3 rounds of triceps. And then I hit the sauna in the steam room, and we are fucking locked in, baby. And so we get it going, finish up the work day. It's a Friday, so it's relatively chill. And then we slide up to the airport, but prior, I'm gonna bust 2 fucking joints, right, at least. So we fucking get a nice little smoke session. And then I'm calling the Uber, and fortunately the Uber was just nothing major, right? Just a chill dude. He was really excited for us, which is awesome. He had never been to Croatia, and which was nice. He was I want to say he was like a Mongolian or from like Jordan or something like that, or like, oh no, he was Romanian. Yeah, so this Romanian guy picks us up, and Romania is not too far off from Croatia, so he was really excited for us, and he himself had been to Croatia many times, so it's just funny how it worked out. I was like, fuck yeah, all right, starting the trip off nice, dude. So then we get to O'Hare, right? We're there now. Pre-check, fucking skirt on through, bro. Rich as fuck, shit. So we fucking slide on through. We go get a glass of wine from this bar like called Tuscany, and it was funny because like I was watching, there was a Manchester United Chelsea game going on, and this English dude next to me was getting pissed. And I was happy because Chelsea won, and we're just watching it, and I'm just sitting there like low-key, like loudly throwing digs, not at him, but just like fuck Manchester United, just to see it. And it was all in good fun, right? Like I'm not trying to like be mean to anybody, but it was a good time. And then, we got onto our flight, and we were sitting on the tarmac for about an hour and a half. And good thing again that I didn't take my edibles, so I would have been sitting there just stoned. And so we take off after an hour and a half because there's a fucking dust storm in Chicago, and that's some Midwest shit for you right there. So finally we take off, right? Flight's not a problem. Me and wifey each had our own aisle seat, so we got to like spread out a little bit. I actually like did knock out, and I think it was mainly because, right, it was nighttime in America, so I was like, my body was like used to falling asleep. But the thing about traveling like that, overnight flights and just longer flights is that I don't feel like I ever really sleep. I just like shut my eyes. There might be moments where I doze off, but I don't feel like I'm ever like fully in a sleep. It's just like you can't sleep sitting up. I'm just not that type of dude where I can fall asleep like that. Like I'm a shitty sleeper already, and then being on a flight is just, man, you just gotta like just take my edibles and just fucking lose it, dude. But anyway, so we get there and we're like, oh shit, we got a connection, right? We got a connection because which was initially like 2 hours. But because we spent an hour and a half on the tarmac, we had like 30 minutes, and we landed in Amsterdam. And what's crazy about that Amsterdam airport is where we landed was like literally like a 30-minute walk from where we had to go in the airport. And so we were those people, and it's okay, right? We were those people. We like, as soon as the plane landed, we like grabbed our shit and moved up to the front. Because we're just like, dude, we got to get to our connection. And so literally dude, I can't tell you how bad it feels to go from sitting down for like 8 hours. I think it was 10 hours, to go from sitting for 10 hours to just sprinting through the airport. Like that cannot be good, man. My whole body was angry at me, but we make it. And they're all like, it's like another 2.5 hour flight from Amsterdam to Zagreb, which is the capital of Croatia. And so, no worries, we get there, but I'm just sitting on the plane like sweating profusely, which is whatever. I'm like, dude, you know what, you made it, fuck it. And so, get to Zagreb. Zagreb is a really nice airport. It's only like 5 years old, so it's pretty new. Pretty high-tech airport, from my opinion, from my perspective. So anyway, we get there slowly, everyone's getting their bags, ours aren't there. There's like another family's bags aren't there. And I'm like, please, Lord. And so we put air tags in our bags. So I looked at my thing. It's like, dude, still in Amsterdam. I'm like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. That's never happened to me. It's the first time it happened to me. And I'm just like sitting there like, shit, And so we go to this like lost and found, and like there's this disgruntled Croatian employee. And I won't say disgruntled, maybe it's just a language barrier thing. So disgruntled employee, he hands me a piece of paper with like a code on it that he's written I'm like, dude, I don't trust this shit, bro. Like, you're handing me a written piece of paper? That's fucking, I don't know. So I had no faith in that. And then we're just like, dude, what are we gonna do, man? And then, so, after after like a 12-hour like travel excursion, right? Like we take that and we're like, man, this is a serious L, right? But and then this poor guy, like his name's Matej, he comes and picks us up, right? And we're just like, I'm trying to give him my best energy, but it's hard for like, like both of us to do that just because we're kind of pissed about the bags, right? But I'm like, I'm not gonna let that affect this dude. He has no, like he's not part of this, right? So we get to the hotel, staying at the Esplanade Hotel, and that is a 100-year-old hotel, but they make it really nice. It has great history to it, you can tell, but at the same time, they've modernized it. So it's not like you're literally staying in a hotel that has old shit in it, you know what I mean? But like Rolling Stones, Bon Jovi, they've all stayed at the hotel, and it's fucking really cool, man. So it definitely was a hotel with a lot of character. So we're checking in, and we're checking in, and we go to the concierge, and we're like, man, our bags didn't come. He's like, oh, it's totally normal. It comes tomorrow. And I'm like, all right. And then I finally like look at my wife. I'm like, dude, if the worst of this situation is that we have to throw money at this, then we have money. No, we're not rich, but we have money. We can spend the money on that, and it'll be all good, right? And we'll just go buy some clothes. So I was like, let's just do this. Let's go set our shit down, and let's go find some food, and we'll slid over to the H&M, and we just bought some clothes. I actually was like, I'm gonna buy clothes. So I bought like a nice long sleeve. I bought some jeans. I bought some nice shorts, some shirts. I was like, you know what? I always like regret not buying things from Europe, so I'm not gonna have that. So I spent like 150. Wifey spent like 80, and then we went to like a convenience store, and then we bought some like, hi, good morning, and then we bought some like deodorant and toiletries and things like that from that store. And it worked out because I actually found this new deodorant like scent from Old Spice. I was like, I might just buy this going forward, like why not? So then anyway, so then we're good, right? So I'm like, hey, now we have clothes. We bought clothes for like a day or two. If our bags don't come tomorrow, then we'll come back and we'll buy a brand new set. We'll buy bags. We'll buy all of it, right? And so that's fine. We do that night, and then we walk around. It's our first day, right? So we just walk around Zagreb, like at night, and it's such a beautiful European city, like pastel colors, like very like historic architecture, and things that you just don't see out here in the States. And it was really euphoric. We just were chatting it up, and we were like, just trying to stay on positive vibes, and we're just trying to stay like up, right? We're trying to stay positive, and so, but it was another opportunity for us to learn about each other, right? It was another opportunity for us to just love each other more, and I take those opportunities all day long, because it's a valid concern, right? It's a valid concern to be pissed about the fact that we lost our bags, and so I'm like, you know what? Let's get through this together, right? And so we go to this Thai spot and get some ramen, get some dumplings, get some gyozas, and we fucking have a beautiful night, dude. And it was like down right on the strip in downtown Zagreb, and it was just a really gorgeous night, like 65 and clear. And we're like, man, we don't need to be mad. We don't need to be anything. We were just really like, we got over it so fast. We went to bed. We got up in the morning, showered up, got it ready, had some breakfast. I'm looking at the AirTag on my phone, and it's in Zagreb. I'm like, dude, yo, it's at the airport. And then like we start doing a little fucking happy dance at breakfast. We're like fucking, hey, we're just fucking, let's go. And so we get done with breakfast, and our guide Bruno is fucking amazing, by the way. So our guide Bruno is waiting in the lobby for us, and he's standing there with our bags. And what was awesome was we hadn't even met him yet. We just told him, and he's like, yo, give me the confirmation numbers. I'll follow up on this. I'm like, damn, yo. And so he followed up. He's like, your bags are coming. I'm like, bro, you are so, I haven't even met you, and you're so fucking nice, right? And so he meets us up. We go change real quick, and we come back down, and we're just ready. Now we're ready. We're happy, right? And so he goes and takes us on a walking tour of Zagreb, and this guy is just so fucking wholesome, man. And like, you know, at in Croatia, they get sun like 300 days a year, dude. So I feel like that has a real impact, you know. So he took us through squares, he took us to downtown Zagreb, he took us to this, he like walked us by this museum of broken relationships. He took us through historical districts, and he just gave us just a wonderful tour. You know, we were talking. He was a down-to-earth guy, laughing. One thing he was saying, what that was funny. So he has twins, right? They're like 7 years old now. He's like, what I say is, I don't wish anything ill upon my enemies. I just wish them twins. And I was like, gang shit. I was like, that is so funny. Yeah, you know, it's like I get it, bro. I totally get it. You could tell like he's you know, he's had an interesting, tough time with his kids, but like he loves them to death. Like he always talks about them. He was talking about them the whole time. He still texts me, dude. Like a month and a half later, he still texts me. He said, "Happy 4th of July." I was like, "Yo, you are fucking on some wholesome vibes, my boy." But yeah. Anyway, so we go through this thing with him, and then me and wifey finally get to sit down and just have a stress-free lunch. And the party was kicking off. We had a glass of wine. We got this thing called cevapi, which is basically like, you know, bread and meat, but it's kind of like, it's Croatian specific and just so delicious. We got a pizza, and it was in this coffee corner. So he's like, every shop here is like coffee after this. And dude, if you know me, bro, that's my fucking shit. I was just sitting there looking at this coffee nook in the corner of Zagreb, and oh man, dude, it was like, I was like, hell yeah. I had my Fujifilm mommy, was making a little fucking vlog, little travel video, and man, I was just on one, bro. It was like the sun was hitting me right. And so yeah, so we did that. Went home afterwards, buzzing, took a little nap, right? And then we woke up after a little bit. We fell asleep for like 2 hours maybe, and woke up and went to that museum of broken relationships. And what's really nice about that museum was that it's stories about breakups and loss, right? So it's little artifacts. So like one chick, like she sent some cowboy boots, and the story was about her husband. She was like, "You were so proud of these boots. You always wanted to show them off. And one day you came home drunk, and I unlocked your phone, and I saw text from like your mistress, and how you were bragging about your boots to her. And that was the end of our 30-year marriage. And I hid those boots from you, and I still have them. And I sent them to this museum, and you kept asking me where those boots were, and you'll never know." And I was like, damn, that is fucking crazy, dude. So there's a bunch of little things like that. And I thought that was just like really, really cool, you know? I thought that was amazing. I'm about to turn around because this fucking train's coming my way. If you can hear it, don't want to get bogged down in the fucking voice memo here. But anyway, so we do that. Here comes this fucking train. Hopefully it doesn't hinder too much going on, but it does seem like it's going to be just a little loud for a second. But anyway, so we continue. We go there, and that night we go to an Indian restaurant, because you know how we do things. We're going to definitely go to an Indian restaurant. And one thing that I always find so frustrating about Indian restaurants is the other Indian customers that come there. Like, they're so demanding and, I don't know, just like entitled. And that to me is just like so frustrating. They're like, as soon as they go into the fucking the store, they're like, "Hey, can you turn the AC down? Hey, can you do this? Hey, do this. Hey, do this." And you're just like, dude, that is so aggressive to say to somebody who is serving you. Like, you don't want to be mean to the people who are serving you. But anyway, we got some fucking butter chicken, some fucking naan, some mango lassi, and we were fucking out there, my boy. Wrap up that night. The next day, what did we do the following day in Zagreb? Oh, so then we went to, the next day was a fucking beautiful day, mate. So the next day we're going to Slovenia. So we're going to Lake Bled and Ljubljana. All right, so that is actually in the country of Slovenia. So this guy Mario picks us up, wholesome ass dude. So in the beginning he looks kind of like a mob boss from a Triple X movie, like one of those like Czechoslovakian fucking angry dudes. But you know, at the end of the day, he was like one of the most wholesome guys, right? So we're with him. He picks us up at like 9, And then we do a full day with him. We're with him for like 12 hours. Dude, I didn't expect that, but it's another practice in endurance and perseverance, just to have a good day. So he picks us up, and the first thing we do is we're making like a 2-hour drive out to Lake Bled. And so you have to bring your passport because Slovenia is a different country. So we're talking to this guy, and he's just like a simple dude, right? He has a couple of kids, a wife. He's actually, him and that dude Matej, who picked us up, are brothers. He's been working with Bruno for years. He likes Bruno. And this guy just asked him his question. He just came back from the Canary Islands with his family. He loves hiking and doing simple shit. And I was like, dude, you are so fucking wholesome. Like, nowhere in his rhetoric did he talk about like financial freedom or anything like that. Like, he was just so about making memories with his family and being a simple guy. And I was like, I resonate with you, brother. I resonate with you so hard. And then, we're driving, and we start just seeing phenomenal landscape, man. And so we go to Lake Bled, and it is just like out of a movie, dude. It's like it's like castles and mountains surround this blue lake in the middle, and in the middle of that lake is a little island with a church on it, and that island only has enough space for that church, only accessible by boat, and people actually get married there. And there's no elevators, so if you go there in your wedding dress, and you walk up 100 steps, and then you get married, my dude, which is phenomenal, which is so great. And so we go to this castle on top of the mountain, okay? And we're just like in awe of the view, right? Take a look at my pictures, my reel. We're just in awe of it. And there's so much history, right? All these countries are so much older than the United States. And dude, it's gonna start raining. All right, I'm gonna have to holler at you back then. Blah. Maybe I can keep it in my pocket. Hold on, it's raining hard now. But anyway, so hopefully you guys can still hear me through all of that. It's kind of nice now that it's raining, actually. So we go to, we're on top of that mountain, right? We're at the castle. And what's so nice about it all is that there is a couple, like an old Irish couple, that hits us up, and they ask us to take a picture of them, right? They're like, hey, can you take a picture of us? We're like, sure, because they see me with my camera on probably, right? And so I take this picture, and they go, you know what? It's actually our 40-year anniversary, and 40 years ago, we had our honeymoon here. And I go, what? They're like, yeah. And then so they show us a picture where they're standing in front of that exact well, and it's like a black and white photo, old photo, right? And they're like, and I'm just like so happy that I get to experience this moment. I'm like, of all the people in the world, like I got to take your 40-year anniversary photo. Like, what a fucking privilege, dude. You know what I mean? And so I end up doing that. It's a little windy now, but hopefully it's all good. You know, if not, I'll go fuck myself either way. But so we were like, hey, maybe in another 40 years we can take your 80-year picture, you know, anniversary picture. And they're like, yeah, we'll be in a box by that point, but for sure. I was like, all right, I like some crude humor there, you know what I mean? So after that, we go do a little walk around the lake, and the closer you get to the lake, the more pristine it looks, the more ornate it looks, right? And so I see for the first time like a mom and 12 little baby ducks. And there was something just so euphoric about it, like looking out on the lake, and the mom guided her ducks up to the dock, and one by one they just jumped off into the water. And I don't know, it just had my attention. It was just so lovely, you know? And Mario left us alone. He let us walk. He met us at the end, and I was like, dude, this is great, you know? Get some alone time, get a walk in a different country, which is, I don't know, just absolutely phenomenal. It's just one of the best things I've ever done, right? And then so we carry on, we keep going, and so after that, we're out of there. We spent like 3 hours there, so it was a long time. We ate at a nice pizza place overlooking the lake, which is phenomenal. I'm getting fucking wrecked out here, boys. So we did that. It wasn't supposed to rain for like another 6 hours, but here we are. We ended up going to Ljubljana after that, which is the biggest city in Slovenia. And while we were on Lake Bled, we actually got the opportunity to see the Olympic rowing team just practice on Lake Bled, which was another really, really fun moment. So we did that, and then afterwards we slid over to Ljubljana, right, which is the capital of Slovenia and the biggest city. And that's more of a city feel, because there's a lot of students and shit like that there, so they're doing their thing, and a lot of young kids, a lot of music, shit like that. So I was having just a fucking blast seeing everyone in their natural habitat. And so right when we pulled up, there was like a in the park kind of concert going on, which was, I don't know, it was so much fun, dude. We made the most of it, and we walked around, got some ice cream, got to see all the history, the beautiful bridges, the beautiful architecture in Ljubljana. Like, there's boats on the river. There's a castle on top of the mountain, and so we were just like, I don't know, just enjoying it to its fullest. And all the while, Mario is such a wholesome dude. Like, he pulled us aside at one point to take a selfie, and he was like, for the memories. And I was like, fuck yeah, bro. Like, let's do it. And so we were just taking pictures, doing that with him all the while. And then over time, we ended up going back home. And don't get me wrong, each of these components is like a 2-hour thing. So, but we get back home at like 6:37, and we're just like, wow, what a day, dude. What a fucking day. And we wrap it all up, and we like take a little power nap because it started like 6-7 o'clock, and then we take our asses over to it's our last night, so we take our asses over to this one spot. It's a sushi spot, and right when we get in, the wait staff is so friendly, dude. They're just like, they give us a free shot of liquor when we go in there, and I'm just like, this is awesome. And then after that, we see like these American tourists, and they're like so mean to the wait staff. And I'm like, dude, what is your problem here? Like, why are you guys behaving this way, you know? Like, it's not that serious. And so we're just like, you know, that's what I always get abrasion when I'm dealing with someone from America when I'm abroad. It's just like, dude, we're so entitled, you know? And what's funny is a lot of people don't think we're American. And they're just, like, Mario even said something where he's like, dude, you guys are simple people, you know? I'm like, I try to be, man, I try to be. So anyway, there's that. And so we got some sushi, pretty much one of the best like sushi experiences I've had in Croatia, which is crazy. So then we pack up, right? We go to bed, get up the next morning, Matej picks us up, and we're in a much better state of mind, right? Because we have our bags, we've been having a great time, and he picks us up, and we're talking to him, we're making him laugh and shit, and it's just like so phenomenal, right? And so then he picks us up, you know, give him his tip, dude, you know, send him on his way. We're talking about Real Madrid and shit, and go over to the airport, and we see another couple there, right? They're an American couple, like white dude, Asian chick, and they're kind of bitching at the Croatia Airlines like staff. And we kind of stopped. We're like, hey, did you guys lose your bags? They're like, yeah, it's been 4 days. And we're like, oh, what? They're like, yeah, we haven't had our bags for 4 days. She's like, I've been wearing the same underwear for 4 days. I'm like, damn, bro, I don't think anyone told you to wear the same underwear. And then after it's all said and done, the husband looks at me. He goes verbatim. He goes, dude, she's been Satan for the past 4 days. I'm like, bro, I feel you, dog. You know how it is, man. So anyway, but then I'm trying to like just like raise the spirits. I'm like, dude, you guys are a beautiful couple. Like, you guys are gonna have like such a great time on the rest of this trip. Like, I hope like that one interaction didn't ruin the trip for you guys. Like, you know. And they're like, thank you so much. I'm like, yeah, dude. You know, like, I don't want your trip to be ruined. These are once in a lifetime opportunities, right? So we get a little sandwich, and dude, the airport food in other countries is so much better, right? Like here in the States, you pay like $40 for what is like a $7 shitty fucking refrigerated sandwich made of like, it's like astronaut food, right? But you know, there I got like a gourmet sandwich for like $7, dude. Oh, it's like a sandwich I'd pay like $15 for, you know? Crazy. So anyway, that happens. And then so we hop on the flight, and this time we land in Split. No issue. Bags are there, right? No connection, so we're all good. And then, we end up landing, and this, you know, dude, there's like a whole Brazilian like kind of like, I don't know, like pilgrimage, and they're so obnoxious. They're like standing in the aisles, won't let anybody move. But I did get to play with this fucking gorgeous Italian baby. He was like the chubbiest baby like I've ever seen with my like in person. And I was just sitting there like, dude, you are so, and he was so like easy to make laugh, bro. Like his mom was sitting next to me for a little bit, and I was just like making this baby fucking laugh, bro. And it was so wholesome. But there was this fucking dude next to me who was totally judging me, and I'm like, fuck you, bro, like pussy boy. But anyway, that's me. So we land, get our bags. This tall dude named Sasha. Dude, the men and also the women in Croatia are taller, I think, on average, than what we see out here in the States. Like, I'm like, dude, Sasha, this guy who picked us up was like 6'4". I'm like, yo, holy shit. So Split, totally different vibe, right? We are, what do you call it? We are, what was I gonna say? We are, like, it's all sea. It's like right on the Aegean or the Adriatic, and just everything is so like, it's like pastel buildings. You know, everything's on the dock. You got the clay roof. So you have that like Mediterranean, like Italian, like kind of Amalfi Coast architecture, and I didn't expect that at all. And so we stayed at this place called Hotel Zachary. It was in the walking district, so it's in the heart of Split, and you can't access that by car, so they dropped us off at a certain point, and then we just walked it, which was like a 1-minute walk, which was great. We had a nice, beautiful hotel. Like, all the staff, they were so nice, because they're like, dude, you're such a beautiful couple. We're like, dude, you guys are so fucking nice. And then we went to this spot called St. Burick. So St. Burick is where Phil Rosenthal from Somebody Feed Phil went to. And we got like these cheese and meat Bureks, where there's just like a savory pastry. And you can see Phil on the wall. And we actually got to talk to the owner. I was like, dude, how is Phil, man? They're like, dude, he's so funny. He's such a goofy guy. And I was like, this is great, bro. Like, holy shit. And then so we're walking around. My wife goes to Zara, and we're just fucking enjoying the sights. You know, it's a totally different vibe. We like walked past this old theater, and we just had that night to ourselves, man. We just like got a nice, great dinner at this place called Mama. And it was just like a little restaurant in the middle of this corridor, and there was like a little, you know, a little like shade over us, and we were eating at like 11 at night, and I was just like, wow, dude, this is amazing. Like, we got some fresh seafood, fresh charcuterie, good wine, and just like, we're sitting outside at 11 p.m., and it's nice. I'm just like, oh my gosh. So then we finally, you know, we go to bed, wake up the next day, and we have a food and walking tour with this girl named Ella. And I'm like, she just said it like that. So we get up, and we meet her at the farmer's market. And the thing about the farmer's markets there is that they are like so much cheaper for fresh fruit. And so we're just walking around. We take a shot in the morning of something so fucking, oof, I was like, oh shit. So it just like fucking felt it go down my fucking whole trachea, dude. And so we're doing that, and she takes us around. We get some squid ink risotto, which is like, it looks like tar, but it's actually really good. I will say this chick was a little pretentious, but as you can be, right? She was a strong woman, right? She was like, you know, I'm not ready for a relationship right now. I feel like I want someone who's as smart as me, this and that. I'm like, go ahead, you know? Like, I like that you define what you want, you know? That's like, a lot of people just like have trouble getting there in this life, right? So she was really nice, but it was funny. We walked by like a sulfur, like a reservoir. You know, sulfur smells like farts. And she goes, oh, you might notice that it smells a little bad here. And I go, yeah, I thought you farted. And she was like, oh my God. She was like clearly shaken by that. And I was like, yo, chill out, I'm just joking. But she didn't like that. I was like, hey dude, sometimes, you know, they all can't be winners, my G. So yeah, that was a goofy little situation. So we spent time with her. She's giving us history, kind of like rundowns. We walked through Diocletian's palace, which is really cool. I just suggest anyone read up on him. He was a conqueror, kind of a tyrant, right? But you know, all in all, it's just good history, right? And he thought he wasn't like a Abrahamic faith follower. He thought he was like fucking the king of Jupiter or something stupid like that. And I was like, all right, bro, like turn up, man. So anyway, I thought that was a silly little thing by him. But then, like, the area is so nice. Like, there was like this little dome where there was an a cappella group singing, and that was pretty cool. You know, they were really good, and the acoustics in there were just phenomenal. So I was like having a great time with it. Coming back inside, but yeah, other than that, we leave her there, and she gives us like just like a really great tour, right? And then we go back and take a nap as we do, and then we got up a little later, and we just kind of go around and skirt this little Asian spot. Like, my wife loves Thai food, so you can probably believe that we're gonna find Thai spots like more often than not. So we go to this little spot, and we were really close to the people that we were sitting next to. It was like one of those places where you're just sitting right up on the people, and the couple next to us was like arguing, and at first we thought they were talking passionately, but they were dipping in and out of Croatian and English. So I was like, we could hear it. So like, we gotta be like, where are we gonna live? What are we gonna do for work? And like, she's like, dude, chill out, slow down. And he's like, no, we have to think about these things. And I'm like, hey, turn up. And then, so it was like one of those things where me and wifey were like not talking to each other the whole meal because we were tuned in and listening to what this couple had to say, right? And I was just like, I'm okay with a little bit of quietness for this time period because we've been together the entire time, and it's okay for us to just listen in on this shit right now. So anyway, we end that right there, and we go back home, pass out. The last day we have our the second to last day we have a cooking class. And so what was really nice about that was we met these two young dudes who were essentially working at a like cooking academy, and they like do competitions, and they do this stuff on the side for money, which is great. They're just super chill, and we met up with two folk who are also in this class named John and Nancy, and they're from Michigan, which is so funny because like they're like 3 hours away from where we live back in Chicago, and I was like, oh shit, like you meet so many people here, right? And so we spend it's crazy because you spent like a day walking with them through farmers markets and cooking together, right? All these things, and you're never gonna see them again, right? We always say like, oh dude, we'll see each other again, this and that, you know? But that's really not the case, right? That's really not the case. And we were thinking about seeing them next weekend or something like that, but you know, it might not work out. It's like we're not like friends like that, right? So, but we end up talking to them about they're like in their 70s. So we talked to them about like what's the secret to long-lasting relationships, you know, their family, their kids. We're just talking and just like we're drinking wine, so we're buzzing, we're just getting it flowing. And they were just such wholesome people, right? And I'll remember that experience forever. And the guys we met that were proctoring the class were just phenomenal, man. And so, you know, all of that being said, we wrap up with them, we're buzzing, and we're just like on one. We're so high off this interaction, you know? So we go back, naturally, fall asleep, and then we wake up after a few hours, and we just end up like, you know, not so hungry after the cooking class, but we end up just grabbing a small bite to eat. You know, we go to this spot like on the pier, just grab some small bites, calamari, all that stuff, wine, and then we just call that a night. So then we have our final night. We go to Hvar. So we take a ferry that's about 45 minutes to this island of Hvar, which Phil also went to, and it is just fucking beautiful there. Like, it is unearthly. And this guy named Dinko picks us up, and he's such a nice Croatian dude, simple guy. The island of Hvar has like 4,000 people on it. He takes us all through the mountains, you know, takes us through like a field of lavender plants, which was like out of a screensaver. And he takes us to this winery, like really far up there. And this guy named Stipe, he like takes us on a tour of this underground winery. He was such a nice guy. And of course there's other Indian people there, and they try to take a picture of him while he's pouring wine, and they're like flashing him the whole time. He's like, oh my God. And I'm just like, all right. So we go meet this guy, he gives us a great rundown, we make him laugh, he makes us laugh, and we just have a great time. And then we had the rest of the day to ourselves just to explore the island. And we went to the gelato shop that Phil went to as well. And it's just so nice to be able to go to places that like these famous people have gone to. You know, I just love that. For some reason, that's like really enticing to me. And then ultimately we come back, 45 minutes, it's our last night. We have one final dinner. But before I go there, dude, we were at this beautiful restaurant in Hvar, okay, for lunch. And next to us was another one of those situations where me and wifey didn't talk. there was this chick talking to this couple, this Asian girl, about her Jesus experience. How she's like, I saw the Lord. He came to me. I literally passed out. And that is why I now run a CBD company. I'm like, dude, you are so annoying. Like, she's going through this whole thing about how she saw Jesus Christ, and and I'm just like, yo, I've never really seen something like this live. And she's just talking about how, yeah, like he's real. Like he came to me, and he walked with me. Like I was unconscious, and he woke me, and I was like, dude, hell yeah. So anyway, we come back, get a little dinner, and we're just like reflecting in our hotel at this point. And we're like, dude, are we coming to an end on this? And then so we pass out, get up the next morning, get to the Split airport, easy. We go from Split to Heathrow. Heathrow is fucking enormous, dude. So we get on our British Airways flight, which is awesome. Like British Airways is a good airline. And then we finally get home, bags aren't there, but British Airways already knew about it. They left our bags in Heathrow. We got them the next morning. So that kind of wraps up, right, the trip. Euphoric, beautiful, one of the best trips I've ever been on, something I'm going to reflect on for many years to come. So you know what? I hope you guys are enjoying the podcast. Feel free to leave me any feedback. And remember, only positivity. Thanks, guys.